aka Gold Lion Anniversary Box Set. This was sent to me by Toynami, and I'll tell you a little bit about this set as well as who Toynami is as well. If you grew up, you may know the Toynami logo as they have released some really cool stuff over the years. And yeah, we recently partnered up. I've really been wanting this Voltron, and lucky enough, here it is. So we're gonna unbox it live. This is gonna be my first impressions and honest opinions on this set, and there will be like 3 or 4 other videos that I will be making of this set. And I believe I did get most of the tape off, so we can do a easy reveal. I'm also trying a different setup until I find one that I like the most. Is this stuff? Oh no, there's a little handle, and that's what's getting it. There we go. Okay, we will put the box off to the side. It has the incredibly nostalgic packaging design. I had so many of the original, like not the original, like one of the Voltron releases as a kid because it constantly broke because of the die cast. Mostly on the cat's like arms and things, but yeah, obviously I'm just referencing my old sets, but because of the retro vibe. So let's slide this tray up, and then on the underside is where you'll have your manual, the individual button cell batteries for each Lion. You'll get your individual weapons as well, your little clips, stand port for the Lions. You get this really cool badge, which doubles as a key. You get each individual weapon. We'll talk about these shortly because I have a couple of issues with mine due to the way they're packaged. It is not Toynami's fault per se. It's definitely just a temperature issue. Hope you're able to see these. I'll make sure I get good looks at everything. Other portion of the clips. Blue Lion. And then we shall get out this awesome base that also has license sound. I hope I have the batteries. I might have forgotten them, so it might be SOL because I grabbed the screwdriver for once this time. I just want to make sure I have everything in frame. Do I? Yeah, I'm doing a decent job. Hello, everybody. So here is the base. It has some sound capabilities. So before I go any further, I'm going to see what batteries this needs because I might have them on hand. At least I got the right screw type. Hello. How long are you? We need AA batteries. I think I have some. I have to go get them. I wish I had like elevator music. It'd be like. I don't even have. We're gonna grab the batteries after. We're gonna move on. I'll get the batteries when the things are more set up, so you're not just like left in silence at the beginning of the video. We're gonna put all these parts to the stand off to the side. I was just gonna put all the weapons in there, but now we're gonna have to put those off to the side as well. We're gonna keep these out, and we're gonna get the instructions out so I don't ruin anything. Oh, that's cool. Looks like a postcard type. Oh, so we got some cool retro card art illustrated by Kazuchi Murakami. Warning: batteries are dangerous. Keep them out of way of children. Danger: swallow no danger. And then we have the instructions. A lot of people don't show you the instructions, so I'm just gonna show you like some of the instructions. You get an interview with Murakami, which is pretty cool. It illustrates, well, talks about some of. Hey guys, you got all the characters, everything that's included in the sets, how to transform. This is stuff I know how to do. I'm not worried about the transformation. Just want to make sure I put the batteries in properly. But yeah, it tells you all the stuff and the things, and now I gotta find the battery stuff and things. Here it goes. There's those little tiny things. These things catch me up. So we're gonna do this together. Whenever we get each one out, there's the batteries, and we're gonna do that, and then we'll look at the line. There's a QR code that you can scan for the battery change. I didn't set it up, so we're just gonna go for it. So you got this. Of course you did. Would you stop dying on me? Turn on. There you go. 82. I don't know. I don't know. I might shut off again, but I'll just deal with it. And we have the very spiky shield. And the sword. Looks like I'll have a couple of complaints here. Again, this isn't the toy's fault, it's material and temperature fault. Most of the chrome should have all been technically wrapped in this. I'll tell you what. Oh, we're starting with yellow line. Okay, that's cool. We'll start 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bet. So 5. They're nice and heavy. I do have a comparison for when we have them like assembled and stuff towards the end. 3, 2, 1. This is very nostalgic for me, but this feels very, 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 very similar to the one that I had as a child. Items like this are ones that I do save the boxes because sometimes I don't feel like it's safe to just exist outside all the time unless I'm doing something with it. Okay, move this off the side as well. And then yeah, so we're gonna go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But I'll pull them back. There's styrofoam, which I'm gonna talk about once we get everybody situated and I grab those AA batteries from downstairs, which I think I know where they are, but I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure. There's 3, and I know I don't have 3 on hand. So we're gonna start with the Lions. Well, does it only tell me 1? Can you do this with me? Do this with me. I know how to transform Voltron. This has been the same forever and ever and ever. Nope, doesn't tell me here. Very detailed instructions on how to transform the lion. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's the little thing for the thing. That's cool. Nope. So, is it everybody for yellow and blue lion? But all right, so you will need to follow the instruction. I'm gonna wing it. Okay, I'm gonna wing this, and we're just gonna do it. These are loose, and we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it because it's live, and I'm pretty sure I have an idea of where everything is. Seems like it's in his head. Right? Yeah, they all have this little slot on their head. And I don't know if I pull. Yep, you pull back. And then there's this itty bitty compartment in his head that you can pull out. And then you slide the battery into like this little chip thing from one side. Which one is this? Oh, And they do have it labeled 5451. The batteries are CR92, right? I'll just tell you which batteries they are whenever I get it out of the packaging. That's it. Well, no saving that. No, away from shiny chrome. Alright. Make sure I hold it this way, because it is going to be lined up with the thing, because I'll mess up. Otherwise, come here. Gently. So, line battery for yellow, right? Yes. See, question myself. This is a CR927 button cell battery, 3 volt. Doesn't have the contact point. There's these button cell batteries that have contact points that are like, how does this go in like this? I'm pretty sure. Right? Oh yeah, because I can read upside down. Right? Positive. Okay, it works. It works. I get it. You work. It works. Okay, where's the magnet? Right here. Where'd you go? Okay, it's somewhere. There's a little magnet. And then you'll line this back up the proper way. Make sure it's not upside down. So here is Yellow Lion, and we will transform them. Got some nice ratchets. This is what always used to break on me. Like nice ratchets in the arms, but these are very like thin. Not thin, but like hollow plastic. So do be gentle, as it is an anniversary set, but there is good articulation considering what this is supposed to be. So technically the foot can go all the way up. Also, this all the way up that way, pretty far back, pretty far forward. Not that much side to side, but you get the ratchets going forward and back. No ratchets in the head. And it seems like the battery compartment rattles around a bit. Let's see if this works. Right here. Where's off? Right here. Yeah, it works. Back legs, same as the front legs. Die-cast body frame. Do the things that matter everywhere else. Pull his tail out. Check out the connection. Interesting. So here is our Yellow Lion. Mouth opens and closes. Head seems like it's on a very shallow ball joint. Has a nice weight to it. I feel like, yeah, this slides up. Everybody has their signature. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just how it inserts. I don't know, but it comes off. Sometimes they have like little things like this can launch up, but get used to it up and off the side. I should just sit down and take a drink. And speak louder. Should also do that. Who's next? Blue Lion. Blue Lion is my favorite. What does this do? Maybe just being inserted. Blue Lion was always my favorite. I always like this color. This is a really nice metallic blue, like a little sparkle That's what metallic is. It has a nice metallic sheen to it. And if I was a car guy, my car would be this color. It's just such a nice blue. The metallic is reflects so nicely, like this kind of at certain angles. There's like this, like a turquoise flare to it when it hits the light certain ways. So it's just really pretty. Enough gushing. We're gonna do her battery. So you just slide back. Same thing here. I think she uses the same battery as yellow. I'll double check though. Report back to you right now. It is indeed the same as yellow. It is a CR927 3-volt lithium cell, lithium button cell battery. You want the positive side to hit the board, right? And then test it with this. It's also the magnet. This is on here, off here. And you can test it to make sure that it works. Turn off. Hello. There you go. And then just make sure this is properly oriented where the eyes are and not upside down. And just kind of gently place that in. Don't force it. They're very small chips and you don't really want to damage anything. And now we shall pull your arms. Stuck. Alright, we're going to do it. It's a little bit tight. Okay. I don't like that. I will get some lubricant for that after everything is said and done. I like the tail. Simple. And then we're going to test the lights. Lights do work. Turn these off. Turn off. You don't want to turn off. Turn off. 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 Turning it on is easy. Blue line. And next is green. Trash can. Awesome. So next up would be green, and it looks like you double up on green and red. Wait a second, is this one already corroded? So there's one I can't use, and I think it's for. There's one that I can't use. And I don't know if I have 337s. Do I have 337s? I don't know. Moving on. We'll deal with that whenever we get to it. Are they extra? I hope they're extra. Let's find out. I hope they're extra. Same thing, little slidey situation. Tinier mechanism requires two button cell SR16SW 337s. Two per line for the arm. Very small. The reason they don't pack in batteries with things much is because the temperature change and storage and stuff like that, like just the quality of things has gone so low that it doesn't always benefit the consumer to have them. It's almost benefits them more to pay for them. It used to be like that. It's okay. Just make sure these work. These ones always sketch me out. They're so much smaller. And they're not even like necessarily meant to have this many. check that it works. Turn it on. Do you work? Ah, have it right. I'm gonna get my line out too, because it's the same. Hello. How you building black line? Can't use that one. Oh no. I don't know if I can use most of these. Do I have a rack? We're gonna pause on these guys because I think I might have to get some new ones. These ones might be fried. So we're gonna go to black line to his. What's up? I don't know, damage it. Comes up sideways. Okay. Make sure it works. Yeah, that one works just fine. Back in homeboy's head. Wait. Make sure. On. Face forward. Sorry. Make sure that I put that on the right way. Turn on. Indeed. I think I did. So you're all set. Make sure that's all the way down. You don't want to go down? Batteries. Batteries. Slide that this way. All right. This is very nostalgic. I just know how to do this. It's like second nature. Little baby feet. These compressor. Or they just sketchy. There's some things that are like really nice about this set, but also some things that are sketchy, which is why I'm being very cautious. Some of the things that like shouldn't necessarily be super tight are. As far far as the transformation, it's Voltron. There's no like really hidden tricks for this guy, which I appreciate. Very, very nostalgic. So it's head shit. There we go. Shit. Right. Here's the Black Lion. Sorry, I got distracted by the batteries. Their articulation isn't crazy, with some ratchets in the forward and backwards movement. This one only has a little bit of movement. Same with the ankles. The legs are pretty similar across, besides this guy being not as articulated as the others. But the real question is, what am I going to do about those button cell batteries? So, which they are these ones, LR521. I'm going to double check the 521, see if I have any 521. That doesn't make sense. Wait. So I don't. So I'll have to get some new ones. I'm gonna double check one more, please.
I do not. I do not.
Let it down. So I will. Don't I have something that would wipe this off with? Let's use this. Alright. We'll see if we'll get those to work and then, we'll transform it. Alright. Clean off a couple of the batteries that don't look like they're super long gone. You're not getting away. It doesn't look too bad. And there's this one that also doesn't look too bad. Alright. So I did do it right. They're just not cooperating. If something was easy, it wouldn't be real. Oh, it does work. Okay. Okay, it worked for a second. Okay, it works. Alright, we got light. How's this going? I don't remember. I'm just gonna wing it. That's right. Yep. Yay! There's one. Don't celebrate too early. Alrighty. Mouth opens. Arms are just as sketchy as all thin arms are. I'm very cautious because I have for the comparison, the one that I have, hypothetically, if it was the official one, is ridiculously expensive and it has all the same QC problems, but for the fraction of the price. It's around this price. But this is vintage inspired with like some improvements. Red line. Do the same thing over here. Pretty sure those two are done. Dunzo. So I'm getting rid of those for sure. Yeah, there was just like leftover residue on some of these. Why'd they give us so many though? Is there a reason? It only tells black line, yellow, red line, than those. All right, let's see if we could save some of these batteries to operate our Lions. Yeah, this will work. So those three are done though. Yep, we got it to work. So these three are no good. Ah. Yeah, these three are. Wait, what? Okay, so essentially, four of the eight are no, five of the eight are good, and the other three need to be properly disposed of because they're. This one's dead. This one's dead, and that one will be dead. It's a lost cause, and then this one we'll store it away. So these trash. Oh goodness! All right, now we can move forward. Let's go. Oh wait, we can't. Ah, where are those AA batteries? If I was batteries, where would I be in my house that we just moved into? I don't know off the top of my head, so we're not gonna be able to access that feature. I don't want you just like sitting here waiting for me to potentially come back with batteries, but I don't know where they are. I know I have some. I don't know where they are. Are they in the closet? I'm gonna check. We're gonna check. I'm gonna transform this guy in the line mode, and then we're gonna check because I want this to be as authentic and real as possible. And it's my first impressions, and like even somebody with mad experience with things has some trouble sometimes. Would you just go on, please, sir? You're one of my favorite lions. How about that? What if I tell you that? No? Almost? There's just enough space for this to slide over and get this clearance. For some reason, I have the green with no effort. There we go. I'm gonna find those AA batteries that I need three of. 1.5 volt AA battery. We'll give you these toxic button cell ones. Is chrome flaking? Or is that? I don't know. Found out. All right, let's get everybody lined up. Oh, your tail. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna talk about the Lions once I get this base together, and then we're gonna talk about the QC before we go into his transformation. I will be right back. Comment Voltron in the chat if you're witnessing me have to go get batteries. Trial and error. I found him. It was easier than I thought. Let's go. Get out. Awesome. Base. Batteries in base. What? And I turn it on and they come to life. And they go giant size and they destroy my house. And then I yell at them. And then red tries to eat me. And blue runs away sad. Alright, so we got the bait. I don't know what this does, so. We're gonna figure it out together. I think I like that. So, now we can talk about each line. We're gonna talk about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check if there's anything I should note regarding each line. No. Nope. Nope. No, it doesn't really tell you about each line necessarily. It does tell you that there's like a little thing that you gotta move to transform, which obviously. Okay, that's cool. So there's some functionality. And I want to make sure that I do that right. So with the black line, there is some articulation here that's a little bit loose. The proportions are very 40th anniversary. It has a nice heft to it. Overall, like good in-hand feel. The wings, the connection points are a little bit loose, whereas the rotation is very tight. So be wary of that. It is something that you can address, luckily. But the wings do what the wings do. And it's the same for both wings. They're a little bit loose and the rotation is tight. As far as this, it has a nice ratchet joint. That, no real problems there. This is just a hinge. And just another hinge. Same on this side. And then you have the head, which is pretty posable, you know, up and down, and swivel. It doesn't want to like stay. Oh, now it does. Stay like that, opens and closes. Oops, face reveal. But you can't hide that because it doesn't like hide up in the mouth. There's a rotation slightly at the waist, not a lot, but it is there. Tail can move up and down. Legs are the same for the robot legs, so they're okay. No real in and out movement and kind of loose. And then this is rather tight. And this is also very tight. And as do all the other lions, you can turn his eyes on and off, 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 off with the key thing. Transforming him into torso formation is, if you've ever held or played with a Voltron before, it is the same. Fold up the tail, fold down and straighten the legs and the feet. Make sure they are as straight as you can get them. You're going to come to the arms. There's these little slots on the underside of the arm. And you'll fold those up, and the arm, it folds in on itself like so, right? No, like this. No, like this. Right? No, like this. I'm doing this just like purely off memory. Like this? How about like this? How about this? How about this? Now what? No. No way. There's no way I don't. What? There's no way I don't know how to do that. This is like ridiculous. This is embarrassing. No way. You can't stump me. What the heck? What the heck? Where'd you go? I was right. Why isn't it working? Because it's like this? Was it too steep? Not steep enough? like slightly angle the foot. I did. Yeah, I did. This is right. I'm doing it right. There we go. You have to line it up just so it's like a, what did he say? I'd say that's just about a 90-degree angle. No, probably like 90, 92. Nope. This one's still on. Go. Oh, too far. There's a very specific spot that you hit this. Come on, just go in, you know? You know, you know? I don't want to break you. So there's this little groove, and you want to get the paw on it, like a specific part of the paw on it. There's this little, there's like a groove in between, you want it like in between the toes of Black Lion. So it's at like, there we go, right? Close. Like this. Now you don't want to close? Close, there we go. There we go. It's weird. There's this, I'll try to show you on camera. But inside of the arm on this side, there's this little groove that will fold in and kind of lock before it closes down, and then you lock it again. So you have the foot at this angle, but you have to line up the toe, like in between the crevice of the toe of the Black Lion in it, and kind of make sure it like clicks into place before you collapse the arm. Unnecessary, unnecessary screw up by me. Pull down the head. So I like that the wings rotation are tight, but not the hinges. And they're tearing them like they're tearing up each other because it's the same plastic. Make sure those are locked into place. And then you have flying torso of Doom. Next up is the legs. Start completely backwards and do the lions the way I think the lions will end up going, and we'll just find out if I'm right or wrong. Very straightforward. Sure. As far as the yellow line, I showed you the article. Everything on him is pretty solid and sturdy. There's no like loose joints besides like maybe his head not being the. There's no real ratchet here, and this is rather loose. No real heel, that I can tell. Fold his tail in, and there's this little tab, and you fold this down when you want to do the transformation. Okay. Move on to red because he's just right here. Same thing. This is these are the easiest of the bunch. Just fold up on themselves. Fold out the connection point, which is super tight. Fold in the tail. rotate this. Yep, you can rotate. You can rotate down here though. No, you can rotate up here. Why would you? Alright. Interesting. There's like there's something point on once we get to combine, but it doesn't matter in the ARM format. Like there's nothing wrong with red or green as far as the ARM format go. This is ridiculously tight. Whoa, that's actually kind of sketchy. Green. Finish off with blue. There is screws in like these two, right? Yeah, there's screws. So if like something's super loose and it's at the joint, you can fix it. My apologies for not mentioning it, but I noticed it whenever I was handling. It says have him like this, but there's no chance that he's gonna stand with his legs like that. Like, and we form Voltron. Before we form Voltron, I'm gonna build the stand. So here it is, the thing I ran downstairs to get the batteries for, and each weapon goes to a slot. So some of the weapons, I'm not really sure you're going to be able to see it on camera. Some of the weapons look really good on one side, and on the other side, some of the can't really see this one as much. Some of the styrofoam like melted to the weapon itself. Red. A good example would be Blackline's weapon. The styrofoam really got this side of his weapon and a little bit on the front. It's something you can clean off, but you just want to be careful so you don't scrape any of the paint off. But that goes back here. They don't really like clip in, they just rest. I wish it was magnetized. That would have been heat. Next up, we'll do yellow, similar to black. Right here, the styrofoam melted to it, but the other side looks fine. Your weapon goes here. Unfortunately, the side that is displayed is the side that has the styrofoam. Green's weapon has no problems. Goes here, and blue also minimal, a little bit, but you can't really notice it. And then we have this amalgamation of pieces to create the stand. We have this large piece, have a key in, have the base. That will lock in and launch these everywhere. Mini. You want the detail on this facing forward. Is that warped? No. And then you have this. So what this does is it acts as the weapon storage for the storage in the shield. Right? Yeah. Does it do something? It does something. We're gonna find out together. So I don't know what it does, but we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna do stuff together. Probably and activates and deactivates the lights. There's no automatic shut off for the lights. Please turn off the lights when you're done. What does it do in the base? Nothing? Is it just cool? So why did no, it's gotta do something. Once firmly set, slide the right section to the left to activate ignition sequence when not in use. Return key to first position to save battery. Alright, we're gonna do that last because I don't think anything fun happens. So we're gonna so we got everybody together. We got all the batteries in. So now we're gonna do the Voltron dance. So we're gonna do the legs. Fold this up. This will gently slide into place and lock. Oh man, this is giving me war flashbacks. Do the same thing here. Flip this up. Slide the leg in. Let go. So you hear that click. Oh yeah. Running into a flaw in this specific example's life. So there's that. There's the arms. Pretty sure red's on this side. Red, blue, green, yellow. Make sure you line it up properly. It's at they are sketchy. Already right here. Hello? Sir? There you go. I don't like that. Alright. It doesn't seem. Okay, so that one clipped in. This one's not clipped in. Oh man, this is giving me war flashbacks to the one I had as a kid. Man, it's really cool. This is definitely nostalgic, but there's some. We're gonna talk about the QC issues. Not QC, yeah, QC as far as him combined and out of the packaging. I know why he has a stand, and I know why they did like the lights in the base and stuff. So I'm gonna double check something, make sure I did the arms right, because they're not. They're very. This is very 40. Yeah, there's no. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Sometimes you never know, you might miss something, but yeah, the connection isn't looking super strong for the arms. They do rotate, and technically you could move them like this as well. On top of that, it's just not the most stable thing. Like that comes out pretty easily. So does the legs. This is very nostalgic. I remember mine not putting together the best. You don't want to break anything, you know what I mean? But the legs, like the hips themselves, are very. They cannot support how heavy blue and yellow are. But you do technically have full rotation in the arm. There's weird pivot for the wrist. I mean, yeah, for the arm, so you can hold his weapons. The only thing that's like not the same as the one from probably when some of us were kids is like there's no launching the lions. And I feel weird. Oh, okay, it does rotate. Okay, okay. Yeah, that's not going to be holding much of anything. Can we do the same on this side? Is it just stuck? Yeah, that's sketchy. I don't really want to. Okay, it does rotate. You get those elbows. Red, strong. Green, not so strong. Head has a lot of articulation. You can look all the way up. You can rock side to side pretty good. You can look all around. You can look down. It's decent. Not the best thing ever, but certainly an improvement to just a swivel. Coming to the waist, it's still just this minute twist. Just move the tail out of the way. Just this minute. It's loose though. And then the hips. And the hips. So like the body is a decent weight, the arms are good, but the legs are always so much heavier. Like this is technically there's a knee, but you're not gonna wanna necessarily use it because the connection is not it. But technically the leg can go all the way back, all the way forward. There's a thigh swivel and then a knee bend. Just a little bit. I mean, you could probably cheat. No, don't cheat. Don't even do it. It's not worth it. This is a display piece. Of course, you still have the articulation of the lions. Like the head can still go up and down and rotate. So let's give you the display piece. What's it looking like? How would that even? Is it just? Do you just stand here? So it looks like he just stands here. This doesn't support anything. Sir, cooperate. Okay, let's get him his sword and his shield. There is a peg that can go into the hand. How do we want to display this guy? Yeah, it doesn't like peg in anything. He just stands there. I feel like a missed opportunity was not having like magnets in the base for the feet to hold on a little bit better, or like a little crotch, I guess you would call it, guard. Yeah, that's pretty. It's not really holding. So I'm gonna move this for now. It's not in use right this second. Shield. Got the sword. And the shield also has the peg. Okay. I'm gonna hold it like that for now. So this is what. Oh, I forgot my turntable. That's what I was gonna do. This is what he looks like, armed up. Of course, you can hold the shield. If you want to just hold it like that, you can. It's not pegged in, mind you, but you can do it. And we're gonna take these out. And we're gonna put them on the display base. Turn all the lights on in the lion. And we'll hear a word from our sponsor. It sketches me out. These are supposed to be folded up, but then there's like little to no stability in his back. As proper as possible, and I'm gonna grab this spinning thing. first design. Voltron that I have. I'll make sure this is centered before we do anything crazy. Just want to get it set up. The sword and shield just rest on this. Wow, so secure. And this just rest like this, right? Or I'm wrong and it's like this. I think I'm wrong. It's like this. Okay. Get our good friend Mr. Voltron. I'm being harsh because this is my unboxing first impressions, and I'm honest. I'll tell you my bias after, but as far as I'm concerned, we're still in review phase and first impressions phase, and there's some things that I personally would tweak, and as a consumer, I like to point them out, like your damn arm just doesn't want to go in all the way. All right, let's see if that's center, so I can do the rest. It's close. It's not super center. We'll shift this way a little bit. Slide down. Move forward. So we can really take a look at the figure itself. So now that I'm at this angle, you're not going to see me, but I don't think you'll care. Try to get a better look at the set as a whole and ignore everything in the background. That should be good, right? Yeah. Slide over a little bit. So here is the 40th anniversary Toonami Voltron, all put together, all assembled. All his batteries are put in. And let's take a nice little look at it. Spinning and rotating on this display base. So there he is in all of his glory. It's a really nice set. I just have my own personal issues with it as far as the quality control and the overall design. And it's nothing necessarily against the figure itself. It is very common amongst many Voltrons to have some of the issues that I've experienced with this guy, but mainly in individual lion form, some of their joints are a little bit loose for my liking, but you can tighten those for the most part with screws. As far as the hinges either be too tight or too loose, again, you can remedy that if you wanted to. But the main flaw comes down to his hips being really loose and then the legs being so heavy that the connection is not very strong. And if you wanted to do something like semi-dynamic with them with the articulation that is given, you're not necessarily going to be able to because of the weight of the legs themselves. Now, outside of like loose joints, everything is pretty dope. I'd say the individual line that suffers the most would be Black Lion due to its proportions, um, loose joints, and just overall build. Just seems a little bit off. I feel like if Black Lion was a little bit bulkier and the red and green line were also a little bulkier, it would look a little bit nicer. Kind of in line more with the blocky design, the blocky design of the original, which just gives it a more unified look. The arms look small here though, whereas the torso is a little bit smaller, whereas everything else needs to be in place from a reference standpoint. And once we get that back around, we will activate all of the LEDs. And then I'll be really boring at the end and redo some information. That's pretty decent. It's not perfect. But it has LEDs. So each line has LEDs in them. So we're going to turn off these lights and take a look at. Oops, that is not off. Still daylight, so it's not going to be super. Turn off. Alright, so we're going to activate all the LEDs. Again, it's not super dark, but it's dark enough that you'll be able to see them light up for the most part. You utilize the badge, which is also utilized for like the final thing for this. So I guess I can try to bring it a little bit closer. I'm going to slide this down a little bit. Sorry for the motion. So I can get a little bit more and get a little bit closer. So we're going to start with Black Lion. No, we're not. We're going to start with the feet. Turn on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't see that. So just each lion has LEDs in their eyes. I think yellows has the best, so it's like blue where everybody else's is yellow. And then turn on the head, which is pretty cool. It glows through into the bottom. And then, supposedly, you take this and you plug it in and something happens. So we'll slide this back. And we're going to plug this in. There's batteries and there's sound. So, I'm pretty sure it's this way. So that locks in right here. And then you'll slide this way. That's pretty cool. I like that quite a bit. Now, unplug. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. I like that quite a bit. Now let's turn everybody off and get the lights back on, and we'll do a quick comparison. Turn on. Damn lights. So the Voltron that I have for comparison is much taller and is much more modern. This is definitely based on the original toy design and inspired by it greatly. I really like I wish, before we get to comparison, I wish the weapons like kind of slightly like clicked in or they were magnetized so they'd stay in place. And I wish that this stand also was a little bit more sturdy for the weapons. And maybe instead of having this here, I know you probably want to display it, but having this act as a clip to hold Voltron, because there's nothing really holding him here besides gravity. I feel like that would have been nice. Maybe have this up higher behind his back and have something like right here, hold his crotch in place. So we're gonna move this off to the side. Instructions, great. Art, great. Everything that's included is what you want. Functionality of the Voltron with the lights, very cool. Articulation, use caution. I do like the double swivel joints for the wrist, like the center joint, so you can rotate. That's nice. I do like how heavy the feet are, because technically he stands really nicely. I was worried about the formation being correct, having an impact on his stability, and it really doesn't. And the more I mess with it, obviously my biases might change a little bit because I love Voltron, but this arm, annoying. It's very reminiscent to the ones that I had as a kid. Like a lot of this is very just like super nostalgic in like a happy way, but also there's some like dang at the same time. But it's also because I'm spoiled with all the great stuff. So for comparison, it's not a fair comparison, mind you. This is really not fair, but this shares similar issues. Oh, you're dusty, bro. This is the bootleg of the Muscle Bear, the really expensive Tamashii one. I like this a whole bunch, but it has, I feel like, more issues with the individual lions than this guy does. Same problem. Bottom of the leg, like the lower legs are stupid heavy. Upper legs can't really maintain the weight, but I like the proportions. He also kind of leans backwards a lot, so you don't really like have his legs the way they're supposed to be. And like different lion designs, like less intricate designs on each lion. I don't even know if you can see that. I gotta go look. Oh yeah, I mean you can see a corner of him, so that's something. About that. So that's them next to each other, as you can see. Like this guy is much more modern, but he has his QC issues in the legs and the like all the same. Like these are super heavy. Has a hard time holding up his own weight, but he's like very articulated. Same with the upper torso. It's kind of loose, but he has a lot of like good articulation. Arms are probably like super solid. Besides their individual line modes, they just like to fall off or like not work properly. And then instead of Black Lion being the weakest link, um, it would definitely be the arms because of their individual modes not being great, but Black Lion and like these three being good, whereas these are so heavy that the Black Lion's legs just like can't compute. And you can again see like the very like nostalgia, more modern, more smooth and like bulky, muscly, whereas more nostalgic. It's not the most nostalgic variant of Voltron ever, but I like it. Put you back. But yeah, this is really cool. The more I mess with it, the more I appreciate it. It's a nice set, but does have its issues, like most things. Yeah, the connection for red like really just bothers me. I'm gonna look into it a little bit more. Doesn't like hinder the viewing experience as it does the handling experience. But now a note from Toonami. I don't know which one's first. So this is of course the 40th anniversary collector's set from Toonami of Voltron, aka Go Lion. It's a fully transformable, collectible, never before seen light and sound features, which it is true. That whole base functionality and the LEDs in each individual line is brand new. And I really like the base. The way they do the base is really cool. If I want to critique the base and add something, maybe have like since the star is just the LED for the white, maybe like while you mention each line, you get the color. That would be cool. This set is not only available for pre-order, but I think it's also in stock at some retailers as well. It's limited edition, and there will only be a small amount being produced. And this is Voltron, so 5 die-cast lines with constructed of die-cast metal, light up eyes with a badge slash key that activates the functionality. He stands over 13 inches tall on an updated electronic light up base featuring a sequence transformed sound file that is officially licensed by the legendary voice actor Neil Ross. Incorporated into the base are storage positions for all 5 of the lines, including weapon blades. Also included is Voltron's sword and shield, so everything that you need for this version of Voltron is included. You know, there's nothing missing. He's not missing his sword. He's not missing his shield. Each line has their respective weapon for their jaw. You can use them in this mode, of course. You got decent articulation that is like it's nice for what we're getting. In addition to the upcoming collector's sets, there is the little mini poster from the legendary Katsushi Murakami, and he designed a lot of things like toy lines from the Chogokin line, Super Sentai, Beast King Gold Lion, of course, Armored Fleet, Dai Ruger, 10, 15. And then Voltron fans can look forward to this never seen artwork, behind the scenes insights, and oh yeah, in the instructions there's a little interview with Murakami. How many pages is it? It's decent. 4 pages. Original story for Voltron. A little bit about the pilots. So it's at least this has some more context to it. And what does this other one say? It just tells you more about Voltron. You know, the team of 5 space explorers: Keith, Lance, Pidge, Hank, and Princess Allura, who pilot powerful robotic lines that combine to form Voltron, a mighty robot warrior set in a futuristic universe. The heroes protect the galaxy from the evil king Zarkon and his monstrous rogue beast, fighting for justice, peace, known for its action-packed storytelling, teamwork themes, and iconic transformation sequences. Voltron is a beloved show from the 90s that has inspired several different reboots and a loyal fan following. And then it talks more about like the original creation of like Gold Lion and how it's much darker than we were led to believe as Western consumers of entertainment. And yeah, that's my authentic unboxing with real thoughts and opinions. Um, as everything that I've ever touched on the existence as far as in the toy community, there's always room for improvement. But as far as the set and the price that I'm thinking, which I'm pretty sure that's what it is, it's worth that if this is something that you enjoy. If you're not looking for a super articulated action figure and you just want like a classic Voltron with the addition of an actually really cool base. Again, I do wish there was like a magnet here and here for blue and yellow to just go click clap with magnetic friction, so it's a little bit more of a stable base structure. Or he had heels, but it's like based on like the original design. It's very nostalgic. If you had a die-cast Voltron as a kid, whether it was like the more simplistic one, the one that had the little portions for the pilots as well as their keys, that's like super rare. There's one that's a hot mess. They're asking like $450 for it at a local toy shop near me, and I see it every time. It's in really rough shape. It's also $450. It is basically complete, but again, it's in really rough shape. And I've seen complete ones, or at least like full sets with the pilots and stuff. The pilots may not be in the best shape, but the lines themselves were in better shape for like 350 and under. So that's the joy of being a collector, is having so much experience with different prices and stuff. And like, if you see something, you'll be like, oh, maybe this is like the one to get. I've never seen it before. You look it up. Oh, I can probably get one. It's still super rare. It's still very expensive, but this one looks like dog poop, and the other one doesn't. Not this guy, but like, yeah. But yeah, this is cool. I like him. Again, the things that I'm going to point out for the last time are some of the QC issues with the limbs of the individual lions. Specifically, the black lion suffers the most. And then for most Voltrons with diecast, the diecast makes up a huge chunk of blue and yellow, which is the main weight of the entire set, um, which can lead to issues depending on. For this situation, it's like if you want to do like a pose or something, or like hand pose it in the air, don't. I don't trust these connection points enough with these. The legs are pretty hollow in comparison to the die cast in these legs. If it was distributed a little bit better, less weight here, more weight here, and a little bit more sturdy in the hips, I think it would have done better, like shelf presence wise, like without like you're. I'm nervous that you might collapse forward, but more than that, I'm pushing them around, not hard, but I don't want to break it. I just got it. I just opened it. I'm not breaking it. We're not doing any crazy tests until everything I need to do is done. But I do like this. I do have QC issues. It is expensive and it is nostalgic because it is a 40th anniversary set. It's not like a Thrilling 30 from Transformers or like a Memorial Edition where it's based on the original design, but like hyper souped up to have like all these different gimmicks and functionalities. This is very nostalgic, of overusing that word. It's very retro, it's very vintage, it's a throwback, it's great memories attached to this toy's design, to even down to the QC issues. Granted, significantly better. I've handled Voltrons at my house as a child or before I got home that broke either in the car or as soon as I got home and transformed it. This did not do any of those things. Matter of fact, I've handled something rather recently. It may be a sample, but it also broke on me. And it's more expensive than this and has less to offer in the big picture sense. Like if you don't have one thing to combine it with it, it's kind of just like meh for the price on its own. There's like no LEDs, there's no like magnetic. It's just like a beautiful, highly detailed design, rather large figure, decent articulation, very different than what you're used to, but it doesn't have like individual weapons. Come like transform together, have a cool base that like also says cool stuff. The key is the magnet, and you can wear it. It's cool. You get retro art, which I like. I like this style. That's why I got the Super Sentai and Giant Robot books, and like every 5 years I'll pick them up. I don't do like the odd number, like the 3 or 2. I'll do like 75th anniversary, 15th anniversary, 10th anniversary. None of like the in betweens. Sometimes I'll even skip the 5 year gap. But to wrap it up one more time, we're gonna do the sound effects one more time, and we'll see. Oh, another thing, flaking. There is chrome flaking and paint chipping. Paint chipping from this, when you unclip it, doesn't seem like it's coming from the key itself. So be wary of that. Chrome chipping, because chrome chips. Even the old Beast Wars toys, even some of the new stuff, even the Age of Extinction stuff, if rough contact or it's stuck or something, it has the ability to chip away. While handling this, none of the red, blue, black, or yellow has any scratches or any chips. And so far, after handling this guy, the chrome is taking fingerprints, but not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to, which is a plus. So let's wrap this up. How did that? Oh yeah, I was like, how did that mask get over there? My son did it. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you did end up watching most or all of this video, let me know what your favorite part is. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And again, before we wrap it up, if you want to see more live videos like this, please let me know. And with that being said, whenever this is posted, I'll make sure to drop the link in the description of this video. And stay tuned for individual videos featuring this set. And I was going to say something else, but I forgot. With that being said, let's wrap this up. He's leaning forward pretty heavy. His hips. I'll fix his hips. I might have to fix his hips before I move forward with a couple of the videos that I want to do. Not necessarily the one that I can do immediately, but some of the future ones. Alrighty. Let's do the key activation. So right here, you probably can't see it because the comments are in the way. I'll slide this back. So you slide this way and you get cool lights. He wants to lean forward so bad. Definitely gonna tighten these hips. So that is Voltron. Hope you enjoyed this video, of course. If you have any questions, again, let me know. If you have any concerns, let me know. What is something that you would improve upon this set that I didn't mention in this video? And even with the negative aspects of the set, or the downsides, aka the cons, would you still consider picking this set up if you didn't have it in mind already too? Because I would. After experiencing it in hand, I would. But now that I have more information in hand, I can make a better educated decision if I wanted to go forward and purchase it for my own. And I think it's a good stand-in for like a classic release. And enough jabber jabber. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, weekend, weekday, holiday, and all the other things in between, depending on when you're watching this. And yeah, follow me on Instagram at KLToybox, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.